Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome here at Big Bite Baits with I'm the coach. I've got Jordan with me today, and we're going to do a special edition to Rig It on Monday. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about an upcoming promotion that we have, that we're going to do, that me and Jordan's been working on real hard through our show that we do each week. It's going to be a little promotion we're going to do on frogs, and none other person that we're going to have with us today, Jordan, could talk more about this topic than Dean Rojas. And Dean's going to come on with us in just a minute. We're looking forward to having him. He's going to talk about some of the things that we're going to promote in this special, things that he's very involved in. We're going to call it Frog Freaks. And I'm not going to give you everything today, but we're going to begin to show you a little bit as we go the next couple of weeks and basically talk about it. But the first thing I am going to share with you today is the decal that we're going to run out of the package, and it'll have the Frog Freak on it. It'll have the Spro Frog and the Big Bite Frog, which we're going to do this in conjunction with Spro. Our friends over at Spro have liked the idea, and they're going to do it with us. So we're going to get the whole gamut going. That's why it's very fitting to have our man Dean Rojas on here today. Now, Dean's going to come on and talk to us today about the fighting frog today. And the thing that I wanted to get out of him, and he'll be on, I'm sure he's fixing to come on with us, is we would love to hear about his favorite colors of fighting frogs, and he's going to talk a little about how he fishes them and that type of thing. Dean, you with me yet?
Not sure he's loading in, but
okay, there he is. All right, Dean, how are you today?
I'm wonderful, Les. How are you doing today?
Man, I am doing so good. We always just love to have you on here. I know it's going to be a great show, but we've already kind of teased everybody up a little bit and talked about the Frog Freak, and you are the Frog Freak. So here we go. I'm going to pass the torch to you, and I believe today you're going to share with us your 5 favorite colors of the Big Bite Fighting Frog and a little bit about each one of them.
Yes, thank you. It's always nice to partner up with Big Bite Baits and Spro. Obviously, it's like peanut butter and jelly for me because it's been a 1-2 punch for me for many years out on the tour and so forth. So as a great follow-up bait, and if they decide not to eat the frog, I can flip my fighting frog in there and go down the bank and catch those fish that aren't aggressive to come up on the top of the water. So right. It's cool fun talking about stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah, I guarantee you, me too. You kind of got me trained on that several years back, and it's been a lot of fun for me as well, definitely.
Yeah, it's I've won a lot of money on my fighting frog and obviously on the Spro Bronzeye frog, but it was something that Mike Valser and Montgomery's Dennis and Scott, we all came up with something that we wanted to create a bait that was a great flipping bait and something that was something unique, and that's what we did with the fighting frog. They let me free reins on it. We have 3 different sizes, a 3.5, a 4.5, and a 5.5 size frog. But we're going to talk about the Dean's List today, okay? We're going to talk about the top that I liked.
That's exactly right, the Dean's List. You got that right.
But we're going to have 1 honorable mention on the end of that, too. So we're going to actually have 6. But for the 5 of my favorite ones that I'd like to throw, and as well as I do, and for the ones that are in the know, that know about the fighting frog, we always come up with great colors and so forth.
That's exactly right.
The one that you showed me about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, has become my go-to bait. And that is the Bruised Melon.
I got it in my hand, too, right here. It's deadly. Best kept secret in the world.
It is because it's the best of both worlds in the sense of you still have that watermelon red flare to it, but sometimes, it's a little light in color. You want something a little bit dark. Well, when we add that little bit of blue or purple or violet in there, just a hint of it, it became a whole different entity in itself. And, I use it on my 3.5 and on my 4.5, and it's my go-to now. But that would have to be number 1, okay? So that would be number 1 on the list. It's got nice blue little pinchers on the back here. You can see it's kind of iridescent, but it's a, watermelon red, great color. But, the standby that I always throw was the green pumpkin with watermelon red split. So it's a laminate on the watermelon red on the bottom and green pumpkin on the top. You can go anywhere in the country, in any lake that you fish, and you will catch them on that deal. But one of the cool things I want to show you about the frog who don't know about the fighting frog is the chambers that we have created on it. See where we have a split in here?
Right.
That's where the hook sits on there, and turn the bait around. We have a hook slot right here. That's where the hook point goes in, or is out. So as soon as the fish clamps down on the bait, you don't have a whole lot of plastic to go through. So
that's right. You got to know you get a great hookup ratio with this bait, I know.
Right, and that's why it's so good, and that's why so many people love to throw is because of the high hookup ratio. And so that's something that I pride myself on, is to create baits that catch a lot of fish. They can get them in the boat, so you guys can keep winning your tournaments all across the country. So
That's right.
Great stuff. But then my next color is tilapia. Now tilapia came out. It's been a while ago. It's probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and it's been a mainstay for mine as well. A lot of it has to do with water clarity. This is more of a clear water, kind of a stain deal. But these kicking legs are not like really, like the real flappers. I mean, it's a real subtle kick as it's going down, and I think a lot of times that is what they want. And so it's subtle when it goes in and out of the cover. It doesn't get hung up. We created those chambers so the lure breaks down around the hook, so you don't get it balled up on the bottom of the bend of your Gamakatsu. And so, and that's the hook that I use right there. I use a full rock Gamakatsu super line. At times I'll go to a 5/0 on that, but pretty simple. It's just a Texas rig, the Epic Tungsten 3/16, 5/8, half ounce in that range, depending on what I'm fishing and how heavy a cover that I want to be at. So
that's right.
Those are the three. Now those are for clear water, stained water, and anything. But we're going to talk about like flipping mats and flipping heavy cover, dark water.
Okay.
Down. You have a lot of tannic water, a lot of dark, the water. So your colors need to be darker when it comes to. They seem to want to bite those better. So the Hematoma is, as you know, is a great bait. It's something that again came out about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and it's just an awesome bait. Still great lines, and basically what it is, it's some black with some blue and red flake in there.
That's right.
Kind of. And it's awesome. So you want to throw this in muddy water, something that's really stained. We have a lot of low visibility. We have a lot of content in the water. So you want to be able to put out a nice black image down there. And boy, that Hematoma has been awesome for me.
It sure is. It's a dang good color. I know that. I agree totally on that.
All right, well, number 5 too, and we're gonna talk about down south in that tannic water is the black and blue sapphire. Okay, so this is basically black on the top with blue flake, as you can see there, but on the bottom it's a violet purple with purple flake in it and some blue flake in there as well. It's a clear plastic. It's not as dark as you would have on the top portion of the big bite fighting frog, but I kill them down here on Florida, down in the south. I mean, all in the southeast. It's great. It's a great bait to throw in and around. But those are the top 5 that I use across the country, and they've been wonderful. They've done a great job for me, and you guys do a great job of coming out. We always talk about new colors and how about what can we try this mix with this, and we come up with some really good ones. But I'm going to leave you with the one, okay, the honorable mention, because
I'm interested to hear this.
Yeah, because I didn't tell you what it was going to be.
No, you didn't tell us. I don't have any. You got me caught with my pants down, so I'm just going to sit here and listen.
But this is a cool deal because this was actually a contest we had that Mike Ballister and Scott and great people at Big Bite put this on, to where we let the fans pick out the color that they liked and the name. Do you remember what that is, Les?
I'm going to guess and say maybe confusion.
Oh, no.
Nope.
Prime rib.
Prime rib. Okay.
No
all right.
prime rib? Oh,
yeah.
That's a great bait. And I remember when the gentleman picked this color, picked the name and everything. Basically, it's a light green pumpkin with copper flake, blue flake, and a little bit of violet flake in there, and it just, man, you can see it just pops when it's coming into all the water. Now you could throw this in, that heavy, coffee color water, or you can throw it in gin clear water. It doesn't matter. You can throw it on the back of the jig, a wobble head. You can use it in so many different things, and that color right there emulates more of a bluegill, more than anything else. And so there are times when the prime rib is the bait to go to.
Well, I knew you were going to say something about bluegill, because that's really a great bluegill imitation. I know that anytime you find brim beds and you're fishing around them, that is the color to put on for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And, the 4.5 inch is what I throw mostly. But you know how you get out there, and they've got a lot of fishing pressure out there now in a lot of our lakes and so forth. So now a lot of the stuff I'm using is just the smaller ones, the little 3.5 inchers.
Okay.
Now, well, that's a small little bait, you know, but it gets a lot of bites. And
right. Now that goes back to something I was asked the other day on one of my other shows, and I'm going to run this question at you. They were talking about high-pressure lakes and the baits we use, and one of the things I recommended to the fishermen was to downsize. So you just touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, and the great part about the small little fighting frog is I catch the heck out of them on spotted bass with it. At Martin, I mean, one of the things, and I put them on a little jig head.
Right.
And we use fish open hook and throwing it out there. It's a small enough bait where you can use it not so much, you know, for flipping, but you can also use it on a little jig head, or you can put on a small Carolina rig, or just a lightweight pitching and flipping around. And sometimes, well, when it gets tough, that little dude right there, man, it's saved my bacon a lot of times out on the water. So
right. That's awesome. So anyway, we're gonna we got any questions for him, Jordan? Anything today we need to ask him? So we're gonna do the free giveaway today. We're gonna give out the Dean's List for free to one lucky person. So if they can text us in the answer, the answer is, what year did you break the all-time bass 5-fish limit record? Now I know you know that date, and they're probably hanging up there behind you somewhere. But definitely, if we can, I'll go that wall over there. That's cool. But if we get someone to answer that, we're gonna give them the Dean's List, and we want everybody to remember about the frog freak thing we got going, and we're gonna talk more about that a little bit later. I know me and you talked about doing some other things. So anyway, it's all super, man. We loved having you on here today. It's been awesome.
It's always fun, Les. You do a great job there at Big Bite, all the great people there, and it's just a joy and a pleasure to represent you guys. You guys build great baits, and it's the best kept secret. But I mean, I've been telling it, you know, over and over and over again. But what's really neat is, like, when you talk. I mean, I talked to a lot of the pros and everything. They throw this thing a lot. I mean, they don't talk about it, and you get the orders, so you know who gets it.
I know. I'm kidding. Silence is not golden. Definitely. But, for sure, we appreciate having you, and we look forward to best luck at your next event, my friend.
Thanks, Les. I appreciate it, man. Good luck with everything. All right.